Hi guys, and welcome back to the review of sorts of Hallween Havoc. I won't go through the matches and pulley by pulley as I usually do. I'm just going to give my opinion on the matches and about what I think will happen coming out of it. I'll tell you our thoughts, my brief thoughts in each match, but without any further ado, guys, this Japan will be in Havoc to review, and I actually did enjoy it for the most part. There was one outcome that I really didn't appreciate too much. But we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, let's get the first match on the card so I can tell you my thoughts. And so the first first match was obviously Javon Evans and Leon Slater defeating Mr. and a Parker, or the E as I call him, because he's the third um, iteration of Parker, the first being the uh, Ola Parker that or wrestled in WCW. Um, the the second tragically passed away about 10 years ago. In a match in Chirico in Mexico. This was years before and this was years before WWE is a position I obviously and you've also got the popular Mr. Joanna who um who does have a couple of bits merchandise and WWE shop, but it's very extortionate prices. Then you've got the high flying team of Giovanni Evans who's on the cusp of being an NXT main event and Ari's been in and out of the main event scene, and you've also got the youngest um, X Division um, champion in the history of ENA wrestling, Yon Slade. Oh, now basically this match was just a high flying showcase. In 17 minutes and 57 seconds. Decent war. Everybody got a lot of good offense in here, or but it was Mr. Gilana that ate the pin off solely of so Anton for fifth to get the free count. I actually thought it was a decent contest and um and having a guy with and having Opa uh, and I did a gig together, and I did actually for the Halloween Havoc sort of thing. Here obviously what a parka meaning in Spanish, the king of the underworld, obviously. So yeah, so then the next actually, Ethan, Ethan Page defeated El Hijo del Doctor Agner Jr. And before this, um, before the asthma match, Age gave um, Age gave an interview with well, he covered, he spoke about how he's the greatest NXT North American champion in history, and how he's and how he's and how he's one as um as oil and Las Vegas World's Killer I in the four-way match for the Latin American Championship, currently held by Dr. Wagner Jr. and who is facing in this match. So then we get to the match here. It's a day of the dead. It's a day of the dead match. Um, it's an it's an anything goes um straight for a sort of hard war style match in a demo more arena, and Ethan Page put his North American um championship on the line. Of course, as I've said, the NXT North American Championship, and here and here it was a very decent uh, was a very decent match. Agner or Junior to kick the Ethan Page pretty much through both the early ones of the match. Here you've got a really cool spot where he uses the steel chair and Ethan Page's arse. He drop kicks it into his arse. It would ain't painful. There's a lot of rolling in the outside. Ethan Age kinda does a well, eight job, so he's busted open. You have age dropping at the mask. It hulks up, um, kinda hulks up, it hulks up Doctor Wagner a bit. Wagner takes more of the offense to age back in the ring, and then Ethan Page hits a sticker and um hits a sticker in for the through the table for or around the top, but open he gets the free he count at 18 and it's 22 seconds. Decent decent contest here again, and it kinda and it kind of does sort of put Ethan Page back in the Triple A or an American title picture. I can definitely see that happening at the next um at the next sort of or oddcast triple A event as obviously TKO on of rhythm motions here, and I thought that and I thought that was an excellent. I thought was an excellent match. You see backstage, you see backstage Jordan racing to Annie Jordan get into it. You see Annie has been given her own has been given her own or room as arrested the women's walk or kicked her out on the kill episode that I saw and neglected to review during the week, but yeah, we're back here after this. So obviously the attention stems from Jordan being the referee um and the sort of Survivor Series or Elimination Tag match that saw um kill Annie fall short or as part of Team DNA as she defected to represent DNA as she's holding um the prestigious DNA Knockouts championship that's been held by the likes of Naomi, Jordan Gillis herself, um, Ilkham, James Ara, who was Victoria and WWE. You've had the likes of Elvis Sky and Angelino of holding that so it's a very very prestigious title and obviously when the two get into confrontation it will each to Jordan or he's actually listening to oh, Annie, I spoke to Eva and I'm next in line for a shot at your knockouts championship. I spoke to Santino's and Santino Gold. He asking he's okay with effort, so I would imagine that would happen on the next ENA paper of the year for all the ENA fans out here. I would imagine that would be a kick. I would imagine that would be a kick-ass match. Then you um and you see older and looking a bit she's looking a bit sorry for all of the elf because obviously she's injured at the um and and she had to get Zarya to defend enter NXT of an American Championship. I'll get to that match in a second. Um, z- 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 Arya actually gives him so because her almost she'll successfully defend the NXT Women's no of American um championship, but as it says, I don't know about Zaria. I think you um but sure you won't be like Tatum they won't be like Tatum Paxton who actually like I'm out of that match after the NXT um and championship. Um obviously obviously it then we get to the next obviously we get to the next match of the night well it in order defeated Zaria Solica accompanied Zaria to the inside them oh it very cool right this match was the shortest match of the evening, 11 minutes and 4 seconds. And the story here is obviously Arya shows um Arya shows concern for an injured friend inside, but she gets um but she gets urged into a few times, um, etc. Obviously, Aikman in the role has a butterfly DDT finisher. So, um, hit it very well, but it was successful. We can um, um, into Nazaria's palm, but then the match are starting to see it on the Alvoza. Um, and the end of the match sees another all shove the area right into Soul the and another all hits a butterfly duty is he on the outside or Ozan's area. I think she hits another I think she hits another just to make sure that the victory gets the free count and finally it'll get um some NXT go all around the east and obviously um and obviously we need to further ancient but in Zazaria and so uh, um yeah that's kind of how the ends. You see Tatum so in the Cowan make them here to the ring they're all dressed in they're all dressed in white sort of gear here you have 3-1 Phil and our oldest match is 60 minutes and 28 seconds. It's obviously JCG in and versus Tatum Pat. So it often for actions are at the inside. Again, you see them in a POation as and a pre-taped interview just before this match happens. I've also also both the oh and Fatal and Phil's getting involved. It kinda distracts our ops of competitors mum and Tatum Pat so well on point hit the um hit the rolling on hit the rolling on war and then hit the and then hit a 450 smash. Then you see um uh, um and you see a with the chaos happen as the pinfall breaks up off the 450 axle. It really looked like a star in this match. She's very popular amongst the internet crowd, etc. But yeah, but yeah, um, so there is a extreme ash after that, often, um, often actions are kicked out by the ref for interference. JCJ in and JCJ and Pat so he trade back and forth like what the standard impactful moves happen here, etc. Then um um in the oh and come back out Nico over and Sean Spears and I did all um out you have Al in and obviously or any it actually put on sharp nah not sharpshooter sorry what am I talking about so he was on Sean Spears and the and I think kind of takes advantage of the referee being the stabber she 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 her things in the championship show. Looks as though she's about to hit Pax Pax but is then taken out by JC James Rowe and on war and then Tatum Axel is the and hits the amateur Hydra even gets the free he count and becomes a new shop NXT NXT Women's Champion, you see, as in kind of reluctant to join in the celebration. Sean Spears over and hoist up to um um and they sell a break, but as he's not happy as you would expect, cause that'll be the solve the Deadpool thing, I think, because obviously, yeah, I think JC will get a ream at Deadpool thing, and imagine, and obviously that would be the night when, you know, I think kind of, I think kind of, or ruins it for Tate. I don't imagine it'll be a very long, or on, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Ups the and ups and I is given accompanied by on sugar us and uh, on James the, the affected to the um, broken hearties or as a needle one broken by yeah pinfall. So the hearties so the hearties are back to them or broken and make for Havoc. I mean Havoc you saw the vignette during last each episode of them go on into the hardcore found of reincarnation. I'll not go into too much more detail about the history of the broken gimmick. You're not here for that. You are here for the NXT review. Um, this is a broken rules match for the NXT Tag Team Championships. The Hardy is coming to this holding off the TNA Tag Championship and the NXT Tag Championship, but again, it's only the NXT and that's on now, and that's on now. And and I have to actually say it as a very sort of physical match. You had them the hard is sort of decorate tables, and Jeff Hardy's like Onyx Eaton's across the table. Oh, he's actually a very talented artist and musician. Yeah, um, so yeah, a decent, um, a decent match with a high spots of the Jeff, um, Jeff Hardy hits us on ton on the other, on the two other members of the Arcs to kind of take them out the Asian as as it's anything goes and no or if a Asian Austin James or Gill able to come out and then tough. Yeah, but then it's um but then it's dark the Anisha and Hard uh, and Jeff Hardy or should I say or unlikely hero for this uh they do it for a on the second table or or like this is actually the table or spot of the night. So only because you had the table spot in the evening age Doctor Agner Junior singles contest, but obviously with uh, um Jeff going through the table and he had hung up in the corner in the trio. Oh, he with his help. Mm, yes, and it will leads to it will leads to the all important it will leads to the all important and for the victory for the Arcs. Personally, I'd have liked to have seen the Hardys hold it for least at least until dead line holded the NXT championships to put it onto Dark's Day again straight after defeating Dark's Day. I felt it's a bit cheap and match itself I thought well in the match itself I thought was a pretty decent sort of hard war match again, but Dark's A as a action are just a bit shite. To be honest, see I don't really see too much chemistry between of war and the action. It's very sort of disjointed and the hard is of um childhood favorites. So yeah, you can tell I was in the corner of the hard is and I do enjoy the TNA Broken Hearties. Um, that kinda helped during 2017 invest it in the TNA product at the time because they were struggling financial and creative uh, under that idiot John Ulrich from Hoffen off from back in the he's a bit of an idiot to be honest. He's not got creative but on any day, but during the time period in ENA, that was the sort of thing that kept me invested in the product that year. So yeah, a bit a bit of mixed opinion on the it came out in 19 and 8 seconds, and yeah, and then you isn't isn't enough arch up, you see Javon Evans and Beyonce is are actual you have a discussion saying, oh damn, they took out our they took out our and us in the hall. He's now been and now we've got to get our revenge against the, um and now we've got to get our revenge against the um 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 around them for worrying that us does both them match because if you remember that he interfered in round to them match and obviously it sets those young eyes up for a shot at that state in NXT Ag Championships and in the main event or Ricky Saints defeated Jericho Williams by yep and for Jericho I can't show he get it's all on the offer and some Jericho is actually he trying to become a three-time NXT champion, but obviously the end of the match sees Ricky Saints trick with a tornado DDE and he gets a pinfall um, at 16 minutes for 48 seconds. Decent again, is again decent on uh, but again decent on test, and I assume that's correct. Automatic getting ready to getting or ready to ascend to the main roster, um because there's not really too much for character heft brick as on NXT but as his but as he's a former NXT North American champion, is held the NXT championship on two occasions and he's held the ENA heavyweight championship all still an NXT. So now's the time I think to actually with him on to um, either or Smack. I think SmackDown. I think SmackDown would be the best. I think SmackDown would be the best or choice. Um, I think SmackDown would be the best or choice. Although if they did a actually have him on their or it could challenge Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship or something to that degree, or they could catapult him into the main event scene, but because Jey Uso is getting to be a failed experiment, and it's obvious that they're not going to have early in the night and then around the championship picture because they don't see him as the guy, but they put in a lot of trick on NXT by having him hold the ENA championship or a hell of a lot on time. He's the first active wrestler of to actually hold that championship um, um, under WWE contract. So yeah, I think on either or he'll sort of become catapulted to on the main event to on the main event and to on the main event in but yeah guys that has been guys that has been my NXT how um in half of a more review and gonna give it an points of a point of or obviously having the hard diesel who's the straight on the NXT tag championship straight on he had the felt if they held on to at least the head fine, but sadly that's not the case, and you get a lot of development in the NXT women's division, so so a very solid nine out of ten, an excellent show, and I really enjoyed it apart from the uh, and yeah, 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 I'd be interested. I'd be interested to know we oh, what's in the comment section. I remember to like, yeah, and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another. Uh, yeah.